Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, back with another action-packed session. I wanted to take us on a little trip to landlord tenant court. I know a lot of you are new to real estate, so your biggest fear is, what if I have to evict someone? What's going to happen in court? Being in this court situation, there are a lot of things you need to have. You need to have your evidence. You need to have your game tight. You need to have your licenses in place. You need to have your lease tight. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Leave the comment that says I subscribe so I can show you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country, just like me. And you don't want to miss out on that free offer. And stay tapped into the end because you don't want to miss out on any of this game. So let's get straight into this, guys.
All parties in the matter of Gavel versus Griffin. Step forward.
Ashley Gavel is suing her former landlord, Michael Griffin, for the return of her security deposit.
Mike, what's up?
Michael is countersuing for defamation, slander, and an unpaid water bill.
Ms. Campbell, the defendant was your landlord.
Yes.
And he's no longer your landlord. You moved out and you want your security deposit back.
Yes.
Mr. Griffin has a counterclaim. He says you owe for a substantial water bill.
Yes.
When did you move in and what kind of premises?
June 12th, 2015, into a home, 2-bedroom,
What was your rent?
$750.
And how much security deposit did you put down?
$750.
1 month.
So that's $750 that's at issue today.
Yes.
Why are you suing him for $1,500?
In the state of Pennsylvania, if he doesn't give me my security deposit back within 30 days, it doubles.
You guys don't know how many times I've seen lawsuits kind of spring out of these security deposits. For some reason, tenants can get really touchy about the security deposits, and so can landlords. Like if the tenant moved out and they didn't paint the wall, or they didn't do something, or there was some normal wear and tear on the property, they're going to try to go after the tenant's entire security deposit. And likewise, if the tenant, even if they do something that is like, yo, you kind of damaged the property, or you left trash here, we had to pay to get that out of here, and you didn't leave it broom swept, they want to go after that security deposit. A lot of these tenants, because they're lower income, and when you're dealing with a rent on a 2-bedroom, $750 in Pennsylvania, that's kind of an affordable rent, you can qualify for free attorneys. So the first thing that these tenants will do is they're going to go and call a free attorney that can give them that advice and give them the game to go after the security deposit, to file the lawsuit. It can be pretty cheap to file and just get in front of a judge. So that can be problematic for you as a landlord. And it's another reason why you want to invest in your own attorney. You want to have your game so tight that all of your leases are drafted before you move people in. You're doing all your lead inspections, you're doing all your property registrations, and making sure everything is tight so that if you get to an eviction, you don't have to deal with any drama because you were missing rental licenses, you didn't have the right to collect rent, you were just dealing with some of those, different issues. So investing in that up front is going to save you from having to learn from the school of hard knocks and then get in front of a judge and get your case tossed, or the tenant doesn't owe you rent now, or you just run into so many issues that it's better to pay an attorney, $600 to give you a lease, make it bulletproof, make sure you have a process and a system, and then move forward from there.
Moved out on the 11th?
No, January 5th, 2016.
Was it a 6-month lease?
Yes.
Do you have a lease?
Yes.
I see it.
We actually agreed that I will move out on the 5th of January.
She's like, I'm not buying
Well,
it.
actually, it begins June 12th, 2015 and ends June 11th, 2016. So tell me why you moved out January.
I was having difficulty. I lost my job. I was pregnant. So I was having difficulty paying rent. So we agreed that I would move out January 5th.
Do you have that someplace in writing?
Yes.
You can break the lease with mutual agreement.
When did you advise Mr. Griffin that you wanted to move out earlier?
December 15th of 2015.
Did you pay rent in December?
Yes.
Did you pay him his judgment?
Yes, I
Is
have.
that correct?
It is.
Well, then you want to tell me why she doesn't
you
have
doing
her
here?
$750 back.
Yes. I filed for eviction. We didn't agree on a 6-month lease at all. And upon me filing for eviction, waiting for her to receive the funds to pay me the settlement, a water bill came.
She's not
Sure.
responsible for water in your lease.
No.
Well, she called that quick.
She was
No.
responsible for the
No,
water.
she's not responsible for water in your lease. Show me where. It says she's responsible for the following utilities: electricity and gas.
There was no gas in the house. It's just all electric.
Mr. Griffin, I
So what?
assume that Ms. Gamble did not pay to have this residential agreement letter prepared, that your company prepared the lease.
Well, we had a verbal agreement that they
You
would pay.
you don't have a verbal agreement when you have a written lease.
Can't
When
have
you have a
both.
written lease, the four corners of the agreement form the entire
Oh.
agreement unless it is modified
Uh-oh.
in writing and signed by both parties. Your lease provides that she is responsible for gas and electric. If there was no gas, then she's not responsible for gas, but she's not responsible for water.
Okay,
So now that you understand that, because all you had to do was look at the lease
right.
and it says gas and electric, your counterclaim is for water.
My counterclaim, when she rented the house, the three things that she asked me, her and her boyfriend at the time asked me what would they be paying, was water.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
Four corners of the agreement that you prepared. Utilities, she's responsible for gas and electric. That's what it says.
Okay.
So you have to give her her security deposit back. That's what the judgment says. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $750.
Wow, he got smoked. So he got smoked in this judgment because his paperwork wasn't tight. Realistically, I mean, look, I don't know what that water bill was. I've had tenants run up, $1,000, $2,000 water bills. People will sit in your property, not pay, and they'll keep running up utilities. So if that water bill's in your name, they might run it up a couple grand. And you need to have that in the lease to be able to go after them. So even if you're drafting a lease, like a lot of people will keep water in their name. Why would they do that? Because water is a public utility. With a public utility, the tenant does not pay that water bill. That water bill will get liened against your asset. And if you don't pay it, your property can get auctioned off at like a tax sale because it becomes a city lien, a municipal lien, which is a pretty big deal. So a lot of people will keep that in their name or in the name of the LLC and not in the tenant's name, but you have to have it in the lease. Even if you're leaving it in your name, you'll just then bill the tenant for it. So you'll get the bill, you'll forward it to the tenant, they'll pay their rent and they'll pay a reimbursement for the water bill. But you don't have to always pay your water bill on time. So you can always collect it from the tenant and then pay the water bill off maybe 15 days later. It really doesn't make a big difference. Maybe you'll get a $1 or $1.50 penalty charge or something like that if you don't want to prepay it in advance. But you have to put this stuff in the lease. The lease is the agreement. And you can't go in oh, I have a verbal agreement, but I have a lease. You can't have both. So if you have a verbal agreement, it's all verbal. If it's a lease, it's all the lease. And outside of the confines of that lease, you have nothing essentially. So hope this helped. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, signing off. I'll see you guys on the next one.
And as an extra bonus for sticking around, I'm going to give you instant access to my 24/7 cash flow playbook and 5-step 30-day bonus training where I break down in detail the exact strategy that I use to acquire and full gut renovate over 300 rental properties in less than 5 years. I'm also going to extend access to a complimentary one-on-one coaching call. That session allows me and my team to diagnose your business and show you how you can fast track your success by tapping into our done for you model. So if you want to claim these free gifts, go ahead and just click that link and schedule your free coaching call. But these slots fill up quickly, so you definitely have to move fast.